Oh boy. Yeah. So I kind of changed the screen here because I've got a little boy here who is very interested. And oh gosh. Yeah, back to streaming and already got all the difficulties here. Hey everybody, how you doing? And hi Jen, how you doing? Ah, I'm a mess today. And Arno is just being Arno, I guess. Stream time. Yeah, it's not a stream if there aren't any issues, that's true. So, yeah, um, I wasn't really sure if I wanted to stream today or not. Thing is, I originally planned my comeback stream after my little break there to be, Kingdom Come Deliverance related and kind of have like a comparison between what certain locations look like in the game and how they look IRL, because I've been there. I had a look at them. And then I chickened out of that. My thing is just that I kind of feel in some ways that the community has gotten a bit more toxic. And I just don't feel like I want to invite these toxic elements into this channel setting, whatever. So, yeah, I kind of chickened out on that one. I'm not even sure if during my winter break I actually want to play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 on live streams. So, yeah, winter break game is still up in the air. Yeah, and then I decided let's do comic work instead, because it's been a while, so let's do that. And then I forgot to put the waiting room up for quite a while. I remembered again this morning after I had another scare, because my car, my dear car, I feel stupid complaining about that, because the car isn't actually giving me trouble in any in any actual trouble way. It's just I've had it in this week for regular maintenance on the tires, like tire changes, got new tires for winter, and also brake discs. They were a bit on the old side, so yeah, that was the planned thing. And well, yes, car maintenance is expensive. I do have the savings, so it's not like I'm lacking the money or anything. But yeah, it was quite a bill, and the brain is like, we are bad at accumulating money because we spend it all the time. But like, we are accumulating money in order to spend it. The brain has it backwards. It's a brain thing, I guess. And yeah, so I had to go back in today because this morning when I wanted to go to work, the lights kind of said, no, we are dead. No working. Well, not both lights, just the one light. So yeah, I just decided I would take care of that right away. It's not something I kind of wanted to let slide for longer than absolutely necessary. And so I got that fixed. Lights are properly operational again. It was just a light bulb that needed to be replaced. I mean, it's been 8 years since the light bulb came to life, basically, so I guess it's fine if it wants to give out now. But you know, it's like yet another bill right there for the car. Yeah, so comic work. I've kind of neglected that for a while too. I feel like I only really work on comics while I'm on stream. And I'm not sure how to feel about that. When it's saving and not having to go back when you just had it at the shop, yeah. And I mean, there was no way for them to know to look for that, because, you know, a light bulb just gives out one moment to the other. And I never told them that they had never been exchanged, so they wouldn't think to look for that in that moment. If I had it in for, like, the biannual inspection, and it would have failed right then and there, then yeah, they would have just exchanged it and put it on the bill right there, but... yeah. But hey, it's fixed, it's taken care of. The car is as safe as it ever was, so... I mean, I've also had, like, coworkers telling me, like, yeah, you don't want to be seen with just one light by the police and stuff, and I'm like, I don't want my car to be safe for the police. I want it to be safe so I can drive it safely. And other people can see me when it's dark. Got maintenance done before our Kentucky road trip, and it was a bit more than what I was expecting. Yeah, I know the feeling. And it's like, I do have the money. It's not like I want to complain too much about it, because, like, I do have the safety cushion. It's no big deal other than, hey, I have to dip into my savings this month. And, you know, that's kind of what the savings are there for. It's just... the brain be braining. And again, it feels stupid to complain about that, kind of. Because there are people who can't afford to, you know, repair their car properly, because they don't have the means. And it's like... So yeah, I'm, by the way, kind of sort of eating. So if I go quiet for a couple seconds, that's because I'm having my meal. I did start trying like meal replacement shakes, because I've had some body issues lately. It is not even fun anymore. So I'm like, let's just try doing something with that, and yeah. Oh yeah, my meal is basically a banana shake. Well, the powder is technically banana flavored, but I also always put 1 spoon of neutral flavor in there, so it's not too sweet. And the thing is, my mom has been on them for a while, and I saw her taking them, eating them, drinking them, whatever you want to say. And was like, maybe I should try it. Like, there's not that much you can lose for that. Sure, it costs money, but proper food costs money too, so. So yeah, and hey, the added bonus is I don't have to think about what I'm going to cook every day. That honestly frees so much brain space. I just need to decide, do I want a shake that is coffee flavored, banana flavored, or wild berry flavored? It's... hey. Makes things so much easier. Hi Lefty, how you doing? So, no, wait. We need to change the arms, I think. Let me... Okay, this is very loud on my end. Okay, there, turn it down a bit. There's the cursor. I need to see where we were in previous pages. Let's do a recap of previous pages, shall we? Because I feel like we do that in my free time. I'm streaming because, yeah, these are only live on my Ko-fi for members at the moment. I do plan on having them live for free at some point. I just need to get around to actually building a website at some point. And I think in a previous stream I also said I needed a couple more pages so I can have a bit more to upload with the initial batch, just so people have maybe an idea what's going on. Sliding into my weekend though. Weekends are fun. Better than not weekends. So, okay, we did have the fight, and Grandpa incinerated the other guy. And then Grandpa had the egg in this hand. Okay, no, the sketch is right. See, this is where you double check things. And then we had a bit of a flashback, and guy got impaled. And Grandpa... All those poor fried bastards. Yeah, so many dead people. I mean, it is a short comic, so it's not as intense as I probably could have done it. But I wanted to stay under like 50 pages, and from what my thumbnail overview is, I'm not quite done with it just yet. It still needs a couple of pages, but we are under 40 even, which is nice. And right now we are on page, let me double check that, 9. So almost a quarter through. It's taken me a year so far. So, and then I'll need to look up how to draw a hand that is like, I don't know what this is called actually in English. Let me ask the trusty internet. Oh, finger clicking. Okay, this is finger clicking. It says it's called finger clicking. I don't know. Yeah, snapping fingers. That sounds more like it. See, the brain is not quite there yet today. But yeah, that's where we wanna end up. It's a good thing I did not have writing on my to-do list today, because the brain shall not do that. So I need my subview so I know what's going on here. Yeah, the first week of work after a longer vacation, I'm very frazzled. To be lost in translation, yeah. I feel in some ways today is just not my day. But also, I really wanted to get back to streaming, because the longer I put off getting back into it, the harder it is to overcome the brain demons again. And it's a whole thing. So I just decided, you know, we do that today, and if I don't feel like it for too long, I can also just have a short stream. Now all of these things are a possibility. Drawing somebody walking from behind or right in front, like having a front view of them. So difficult, so difficult. I do hope the rest of this will sell that. Okay, and then let's get up here, and also before we do anything with the sketching, we get in there and make it not snap. See? That's snapping too. And that regard, it would just be like if I go closer here, it would snap the line to the edge of the panel. And if you want to go cross panel with something, that's not working. So, but you know what? You can't have this hand here now. Because he is holding the egg with that one. So how do we solve that? Because I kind of like it better with the hand on this side. Since that flows better with the panels and everything. What we could do on this page, it's still pretty easy. We just take the sketch, mirror it. It's like, you know, shake that booty. But then that would mean I need to correct that on the previous page. And there is only one page where we see him like that, and that's this one. And I wonder how much work it might be to do that. Or do we just assume he just carries it in the other hand now? Could have changed that in the time it took him from further into the cave to getting out of the cave. I'll have to sleep on that, I think. Tell you, comics are a beast in that regard. I don't want to know how many accidental inconsistencies like that I might have in my webcomic. And that's the third finger and the fourth finger. So let's make the little finger less stiff. There, that's good. let's see. Got this going this way and that way. Yeah, no, this needs to be higher. So yeah, I have a tendency to talk to myself in what I need to do. Usually I have my caps as a as an excuse, like I'm talking my caps through what I'm doing. Right now it's you, the stream people. It's definitely gotten more obvious how much I talk to myself now that I'm working from home. When I'm at the office, I do it less because it's not that I think it's super weird or something. It's also that I don't want to annoy the other people by constantly doing that, but yeah, I'm also losing my train of thought again. One day I'll get over myself and make a scene. I've been wanting forever, but I can never land on a subject short enough story. Yeah, I know the feeling. All my stories are like, they're very short at first, and then they quickly balloon into something very different, very much larger. But I have a couple of very short comics as well. Because for a while there, I was part of a webcomic collective, and I kind of left because I did not have an active comic anymore, and it just felt weird being part of it. While I'm not really making comics, so yeah. They're still around. By the way, that's the Spider Forest webcomic collective. Let me just put that in chat. Oh. Yeah, I guess without the HTTPS, it won't give that one. But I do have a couple of very short comics. Let me... Ooh, yeah, the finished ones should be in there. Like this one was... Yeah, no, that's just the lettering. Where are the finished pages? There. Find the finished pages. This one was just 7 pages. It was technically a short story that was part of the main webcomic I did. But hey, I managed to do something in just 7 pages, and I was very, very happy about that one. And that was also the short story where I finally learned how to appreciate drawing hands. Because look at all these hands. Okay, they're kind of low quality here. Because for me, I learned with hands, if you put them in a glove and have the extra seams, basically, that you can draw as well, it helps give the hand a proper form. At least for my brain, that was it. Look, it's a hand. And yeah, And then I also kind of learned to appreciate drawing feet, and it took me another, I don't know, wait, I did that 2017. It took me another 8 years to appreciate drawing shoes. It's funny. I honestly don't know how or why it happened, but it felt like somehow at some point I was suddenly so much better at drawing hands. Yeah, again, I don't know why exactly it was that. Like, I had something where that was very hand intensive. I needed to draw a lot of hands for that one. And well, I wasn't actually hiding hands in different comics and stuff. I didn't put as much of a focus on them. And then I had to do that one, and I had so many hands and gloves. I was like, okay, if the hands are a bit like weird looking, gloves aren't exactly hands as such, they are something around hands. So if it looks weird, brains can kind of make that connection. And oddly enough, it helped me just putting all those seams in. Like, let me see, I think... You know what, I have all the pages here as well. I don't want any copilot stuff. So now give me a hand with seams. So, okay, it's still a bit pixely in this export, but it's fine. But yeah, I think it was really these two hands where I was like, things are clicking. I know what I'm doing. Because I had all these extra seams everywhere, and I was like, okay, this is how this relates to that and everything, and it helped my brain so much. Then, you know, I have PDFs of all of these. That's why don't I have that? And then for Spider-Force we did like an annual anthology, so you know, you couldn't go over the pages so much. That really helped me keep this contained somewhat. Yeah, I tried one with watercolor, and I really liked the first page a lot. After that, not so much anymore. It's fine though, it's fine. Could be worse. But yeah, my shoes at that point weren't all that helpful either. So yeah, had a lot of fun with this. I think that's also the only comic I ever did in watercolor, because well, I like watercolor, I am not patient enough for that shit in comic form. Okay, I did not participate in Haunted because it did not work out. So, the horse is a bit big or she is a bit small. That's something I know now. So with the shoes were still kind of just blobs. Like, they kind of look food and shoe adjacent, so it's fine. Yep. That was also a very short one, just 4 pages. I am surprised that was that short. And then this one. This one made my hand ache quite a bit, because I had never before inked so extensively, but I'm like really happy with how this one turned out. I love watercolor, but I totally get not wanting to do a whole comic in them, especially when you have to make digital for print at some point, yeah. It can be done. I know of a couple who have done that. I also have, like, I want to say 2 or 3, maybe more in my shelf that were done in watercolor. And again, they look really, really good and everything. I just don't have the patience to always wait till stuff is dry and everything. With digital art, I can just, you know, put anything over the layer underneath without waiting. But yeah, again, hands. I did not shy away from hands anymore. And at this point, shoes got a little bit better, but I'm not sure I really like them that much at that point yet, given how I kind of had a breakthrough semi-recently, at least, so. But this was a fun comic to make. Also, these two panels, oh, I love them. I love them so much. Was very happy with how they turned out. Ta-da-da. Okay, I just got jump scared by a very old version of this. That used to be my PNG tuber a while back. Now I have this other lady. I knew it. I wished it over. Yes. It was her. And then in a very recent internet piece, this one, I drew these shoes and was like, shit, I think I leveled up. Because I'm very happy with how they turned out. The structure is there, like the painting strokes are maybe a bit messy at some point, but that doesn't really hurt the shoes. I think it was at that point where I feel like shoes really clicked for me. And I think parts of these I also drew on a live stream, because I remember spending like 2 hours of a stream on this hand. May have been a bit excessive, but it is what it is. See, that's the thing. She never has her laces tied. Like, let me see. Basically, every part where she has her shoes shown. See, I don't even draw her shoes all that often. Yeah. She can slip out at any moment. I really don't draw her shoes that often. Oh wait, I've got another one. There. Nope. Not laced up. The other characters know how to tie their footwear properly. Just her, she has problems. But yeah, I've been thinking a lot about stuff. And I kind of feel like if I ever manage to write her story eventually, like, I'm still stuck in the outline phase and it's been far too long to still be stuck in that phase. But yeah, I want it to be an illustrated novel, so I kind of want illustrations inside as well. I'm not yet sure what kind of style of illustration I kind of want to use, if it's more like the inked style or not. But I've also been thinking, if I have art inside, I kind of want the art outside, like the cover, to match that. And I kind of like this painting style that I've got going on here. Obviously, this one is not in any kind of cover format, doesn't have space for title and author name and stuff. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been thinking about. But you know, if I take that much longer to actually get around to properly writing it, by the time I get to do any kind of cover work with stuff, I will probably have evolved a bit more. So all this art thinking about the project feels a bit premature sometimes, but also it's a thing. Almost certain now that I want to include illustrations in my novel. I'm leaning towards simple line work stuff. Kind of like those old-timey book illustrations. Oh yeah, that's also really nice. My brain already has like the idea, the illustrations that I want to do, I kind of want to do them in color first. And then also just check values while I'm going, which, you know, obviously, because that's kind of what you should be doing when you're painting anything, just for proper readability and stuff. But just to make sure they read properly in grayscale. And the ebook, for example, could easily have the color illustrations, because, you know, it doesn't make a price difference if you have grayscale or color illustrations in an ebook. Either your e-reader can display colors or it can't. But for general printing, it would definitely be cheaper to go with grayscale. But in the very unlikely event that this book could be something that would be good enough or well enough received to warrant a special edition. It could be in color. So... Oh, I need to go to CC. Let me see. Just a moment, my phone needs a bit longer to do anything in Discord. Because my phone and my Wi-Fi are at odds. I don't know what it is. My iPad has no problems staying connected to the Wi-Fi, but my phone, for some reason, continuously disconnects. She saw it! Okay, I need to reply to Ayuna very quickly. So, and I don't know what to say. That is so me. Let's see. Okay, let's keep this simple for now, because I am... Yeah, because I am, I never know how to respond to people. That's, like, such a weird dichotomy. Like, on the one hand, I kind of want my art to have responses when I post it online, but the moment people do post it online, I never know how to reply. The words will not come to me. So, we're keeping it simple. can really, really go wrong with that. You know, I'm just remembering I did draw him from behind before, but I never made a reference for that one. Yeah, that one. So, here's a look from behind. Okay, very simple from behind. See, keep it simple. Yeah. I don't know. Today feels a bit weird. Might just be, you know, first week after a long vacation, and I'm just generally tired from the week a bit, but also again, I wanted to stream today. I have nobody but myself to blame. Okay, we've got the character sketches. The question of questions is, how much of the inks I want outside the cave, or if I want that to look painted. So it is kind of feeling more distant, because anything with inks would definitely feel very much part of the entire thing. I'm just trying to figure out what thumbnail stage Sophie was trying to do with this thing. Because I have no idea. And it has been over a year since I did these thumbnails. It's, again, comic work is going slow, and I kind of feel like I only really do it when I'm on stream, because I cannot be bothered off stream. And I also kind of feel like that's why I don't have stuff running out for stream topics. So alright, that should do it for placements and stuff. There'll be more movement to the falling rocks. I think I might want to put them on extra layers, maybe even an extra group, so I can merge them on a separate layer. And then maybe have some motion blur in there. Yeah, that should work. Okay, it can be a bit bigger. Alright, he is also currently of the very tired sort. For reasons of using a lot of magic. There we go. He definitely needs sleep. And I feel him on that very much. So, let's see for a second. Because something isn't quite adding up just yet. I think the eyes look like they're a little bit too low. Or could also be that it's just a little bit too large. Good to say, I kind of like Grandpa a lot here. He has a lot of fun to draw, actually. Something I need to keep in mind is that when I go beyond panel borders, I need to make sure I properly close the inks and everything, because Clip Studio does not define the panel borders as inking borders. At least I've not found the proper settings for that yet. So could be that Clip Studio does that. It's just me not knowing how. You missed it by a whole hour, Thomas. I am disappointed. But frankly, you missed a whole lot of me being frazzled and all over the place, so you really need to pay less attention to work and more attention to CC. Exactly. Seriously, who needs to work in this economy? But also, have I been? Oh, indeed, I've been on this for an hour already. We are not putting the hairline so low. Cause I think that's also a problem. Like, look at my guy here. He has a high forehead. There's a little bit of Guybrush Threepwood in my eye. Okay, I shall admit that I have no idea what that is. Let me turn to Google real quick. You know, my synapses are currently firing. Cause in The Longest Journey, there is a not exactly a plushie, a toy. There's a toy called Constable Guybrush, and he's a monkey. It's just, yeah, I missed out for the whole 25 years that this game existed. Because when I played The Longest Journey on stream last year around that time, I would always try to yeet the monkey at people, so that kind of became a thing with the stream. And Constable Guybrush, it's making sense now. Yes, Jen, the noms are important. I mean, it is currently very much noon for you, isn't it? Okay, no, but I looked it up and did not look at pictures. Oh. Okay, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. We can go more like this. That's fine. Yeah, no. I see some similarities there. I mean, Grandpa here is not quite as swashbuckling, but in the head department, I can see some similarities. Yes. So you know what? Grandpa's jawbone is a bit more pointy. No, you're hearing right. I'm calling him Grandpa. So, this entire comic story is kind of like a prequel to the to the actual story that I'm working on, and so he is this guy's grandpa, which is why he's called Grandpa, and this guy's great grandpa. Because let me go back down. This here is his uncle. So so I've just resorted to calling him Grandpa the entire time. Yeah, again, he really is called Grandpa for me most of the time. I honestly always forget what I actually called him. Let me look that up for a second. Oh, look at his name. He does have a name. I don't know what I called him. Should be a Scrivener file. Okay, this is a bit awkward. I keep forgetting what he is called. Theo. His name is Theo. Like, Theo. Actually. And I keep forgetting that. Maybe I should make a profile for him on Toy House. That might help me remember him. Yeah, we have Q and Jonathan, who are kind of there for the entirety of both planned novels. They're pretty quickly joined by Nevan, the undead fox, Professor Theodore St. Clair. Yes, Nevan, that's the undead fox. And the current part where I'm with the more detailed outline stuff is where Ayera basically falls from up high into their path. So she's very pissed at stuff at that point. Yeah, Wallace and Kasim aren't in the first novel all that much. They are more like joining later, because they have their own thing going on. Kasim is very much looking for a way to unhorsify himself and not finding one, because yeah, he ain't the top dog anymore. So let's give him a fingernail too. Maybe not close it up completely. Yeah. What I've noticed when drawing fingernails is that not closing them up helps a lot. Like, say we've got a finger here. Just doing either this one or just the one on the back helps so much. Yeah, less is more, and frankly, people looking at stuff, their brains will fill in the blanks. It's kind of why sketches work so well, because people just basically see the lines that work, And the moment you ink them, you basically only have one set of lines. That is final. Whereas with sketches, the brain just puzzles it together like that. That's why so many people have problems and say that their sketches looked fine, and now that they've inked it, all the life is out of it. My personal approach for that is just keep a bit of spontaneity in your lines. Like for the hair, for example, just do a couple of rough strokes, and if they cross over each other, they cross over each other. That's fine. Especially in comics, like, nobody is going to look at lines that much anyway, because, you know, they want to read how things progress, ideally. Still need to attempt to sketch some of my critters. Not a choice. And I feel like I should at least try. I should draw my most recent creature, the Vorax. Okay, what's the Vorax's deal? Give us the inside scoop. Give us the tea. So now we need to see the hand is a good size in relation to the face. Something I want to get better with is creature design, like visual design. I've been wanting to get some of Terrell Whitlatch's books. She did a lot of creature design for stuff like Star Wars, and her stuff is really, really good. And like, I feel I have a decent base with animal anatomy and stuff, and I draw pretty good humans too, so the general idea is, how hard can it be? The answer is very hard. At least for me, I don't know what it is. Like, Bobby Chu also does amazing creature design. I watched Bobby Chu quite a while, and I didn't know what it is. And this is definitely a me problem. He seems like a wonderful person, and definitely not his fault. But something about his advice is not clicking with me all that much. I don't know what it is. Again, definitely more of a me problem. I don't think that it is his thing. Because apparently his stuff really clicks with a lot of people. Otherwise, A, he wouldn't have so many jobs, or B, so many students. So just make the humans a little fucked up. That is also a variation. I mean, I kind of did that with animals in my current work in progress by basically making them carcasses, and they are kind of inhabited by Wraith, so similar principle. But yeah, I kind of still feel like this is my Achilles heel. Number one is great in my opinion. Just make it a little fucked up. Yeah. Yeah, so, because, should I ever have finished Gear Story and have the ability to really move on to Archive of Lost Worlds, I really want there to be a lot of different stuff, because the premise for that story is that there's an archive, and they basically collect data on worlds that are lost in the sense of they stop existing. So for that, from a nexus point of sorts, they basically just travel to these worlds, record them, and then put that stuff into their archives. And sometimes they just have critters that follow them back. It happens. To some people more than others. Or in other words, the world is my oyster, I can do whatever I want in that story. And for that, it would be nice to be a bit better at creature design. Just to come up with more cool things. And also be able to, articulate them both in words and visually, and I tend to do better if I have something visual first. It's just, I'm a visual thinker. It's a shocker, I know. So now let me see what Thomas wrote up there. It's not on my version, world's version of a crocodile. Ooh! Dear Croc. 7 to 9 feet long. Thank you for the translation to meters, because my feet to meter conversion is not that good. Robust big head with stout snout and big sharp teeth. Strong front limbs with dense claws. Sleek body, black scales, long laterally, flattened tail. Interesting. No hind legs at all, okay. Just little vestigial nubs. So kind of like a reverse T-Rex in that sense. Although there were dinosaurs with even shorter arms, I think. The T-Rex is just what came to mind. A river predator, okay, yeah, if it's a crocodile adjacent type of critter, that makes sense. Well, absolutely shoot out of the water and grab someone coming for a drink. Oh, so those are the hands that shoot up from the dark. Oh, for sure, not every method works for everyone, and personally, I prefer to just look at his work. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. Like, not every art is always going to click with everybody. It's just a thing. Like, there is art out there, let's name it. Like the fat fetish or the diaper fetish or stuff, where I'm like, I have no idea why people draw this. I honestly have zero idea. No appeal to me at all. But it connects with some people. Apparently. Oh, certain art not connecting a diaper fetish or a fat fetish, like severe obesity. And by severe I mean like let's say this is a generally human. You have more like this, and even more in some cases. So much weird, and by weird I mean not appealing to me, stuff is crossing my Blue Sky timeline sometimes, and I'm like, I mute all the hashtags all the time, but a lot of people don't tag their stuff all that much on Blue Sky, and I find that very annoying, because like they're look like a turtle. Make a screenshot. Okay, yeah, the turtles, you know, no, I don't have a problem with turtles. Turtles are very cute. But yeah, it's my thing with art online, like, to everybody just tag your art properly, especially if you're in fetish territory. It's like the people who actually like that, they'll have a much easier time finding it, so that's good for you. And the people who don't want to see it, because they are not part of that community and don't find it appealing, they can ignore it. And then, you know, there's less trouble overall with people being annoyed at a thing that is just not their stuff, you know? And a beast turtle who's too big for its shell. So the flap is barking. No, Thomas, no. Please don't put that image into my head. But yeah, for me, specifically visualizing characters, I have to draw them a whole lot first. Like, there was an instance where I kinda needed another new character, and yeah, sure, I wrote a name in there. I do have a list with names that I pull from, as probably most people do. Just chose one, and then I really needed to see what he would look like. Otherwise, I couldn't really move forward with stuff. Alright, thanks for streaming. Alright, Jen, have a nice rest of your workday. I hope people are not stupid today. Yeah, definitely don't hold your breath for people to not be stupid. Soda reminds right of the whole content warning debacle of books. But if I had trigger warnings, I'll spoil the story. No, you do not spoil the story. You just tell the people who have a problem with certain things, for various reasons, and people are allowed to have problems with stuff, to not engage. And you know, it helps with the reviews and stuff, because like I was saying the other day in CC, there was a book that had some very, very gross stuff in it. And the guy would not have gotten a bad review from me if it had been advertised, or at least put in the book. Because then I would not have started the book, and then I would not have had any basis for a review, you know? It helps. cartooning, and cartoons the shell is like a jacket, that's true. Yeah, not wanting trigger warnings just makes you an asshole, plain and simple. Yeah, it's one thing if you like miss a trigger warning because you didn't think of it, but not having any on principle. Nah, dude, that's not how today's society rolls anymore. And I think a lot of readers are also more forgiving if you have any trigger warnings, because then they know, hey, you at least tried. And if you miss one, well, maybe not great, but it also buys you a bit more leeway sometimes. And like right now, I could not tell you what kind of trigger warnings I would include with Q-Story, because I'm bad at labeling stuff in any kind of way. It's the same when it comes to tropes. Like I could not tell you which tropes are in there. But I'm sure there's triggering stuff in there. I guess drowning might be triggering to some people. And there's a lot of that. Maybe I should add that to something. But I'm also nowhere near the point where I'm like, hey, anybody want to look over this? Okay. Looking at it now without the sketch underneath, I think this one needs to go back into the same postcode. I kind of feel like they may be a little bit too large. Okay, yeah, I think this part of the inks is good. Let's get to everything down here. Or up there, depending. Alright, yeah, get the noms. The noms are important. And tea is also very good. Okay, no, that is definitely too much hair. Grandpa has less hair than that. Okay, I've got a cat circling around me. But I think she's gone again. Elise? Okay, there she is. She got back. My sweet girl. Position the microphone a bit more to hear her purrs. Where are you going, Elise? Hmm? Yeah. Elise does not want to bless us with purrs, so I just position the microphone again. Where are you going, sweetie? We're not climbing up the shelves. Hmm? You want to stay sitting on the box? That's fine if you want that. What are you looking at? Is there some insect? Hmm? Did you not come here for cuddles? Just as the mighty huntress? Okay. Quite the editing task this weekend, and I'm both excited and overwhelmed. I know the feeling. Know the feeling. Yes, sweetie, you want to come here? So, do you want to cuddle now, or do you want to go elsewhere? You seem undecided. Okay, cuddles. Cuddles it is. Let's pause the music for a second here. So everybody gets some cuddles and purrs. I originally planned my world to have a solar eclipse that would last for 5 whole days, and and wrote celebrations for that for each of those 5 days. Okay, But then I did some more math and discovered that a 5-day eclipse broke every single law of physics, and I do like to keep my world somewhat realistic, so a 5-day eclipse was reduced to 20 minutes. But that means the dozen chapters I wrote around the 5-day celebrations need to be heavily rewritten and edited. That seems like a lot. Catching all of that. I wish you the best of luck. So let me just put that on screen so anybody coming in knows we're kind of in a bind here with Elise, giving us some prayers. Yeah, my world has 2 moons, and calculating when both of them are at their fullest somewhat at the same time, or at least, during the same night. That was something. And I kind of thought about it, like, when you have a full moon that goes blood moon, could you theoretically have 2 moons that could go blood moon at the same time? That is something where I'm like, maybe that would be cool. Yeah, celestial mechanics are wacky. And like, yeah, sure, magic is a thing, so if I want it, I can probably have it, but yeah, the question currently is, can 2 full moons that are roughly in the same position, which is a feat as well, also go blood moon at the same time? How tiny do the moons need to be for that? Or even how big does the world have to be for that? And that would definitely influence like gravity, travel distances, all of that kind of fun stuff. That's the other thing, right? If you want to keep it realistic, you have to account for the tidal forces of the moons. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, storms would probably also be a bit more intense due to the tidal forces. Like, the thing is, we kind of start in a place that is very close to the ocean, because Keo is washed ashore without memories, close to a port city. And the question is, do I try to kind of nudge, hint at that? Sweetie, why are you eating the microphone phone? Oh, that's not edible. So yeah, do I do the hint, nudge for that one? Also, how would that influence, like, building wharfs and stuff? Would they need to be placed higher? How would that influence the entirety of naval navigation? Because would those tidal forces also counteract each other if the moons are basically at an right angle for each other? And how would that influence ships going out or coming in, you know? That kind of stuff. It's like, do I just hand wave all of that? Probably. All I want is 2 moons in the sky. Wait, the biggest question right now is, could 2 full moons go blood moon at the same time? Because that would be such nice symbolism for what I've got planned for that first chapter. I originally planned a second moon for my world too, but a really tiny one. It looks basically like a really big star. Okay. But I wanted to have a perpendicular orbit, so it'll look like it was bouncing north-south. Okay, instead of traveling east-west. Turns out a perpendicular orbit is not stable. Plugged it into Universe Sandbox. You know, that's exactly what I did with my moons. That simulator is amazing. Best case would orbit for a few years and then fly off into space. Okay, yeah. So it's basically more like the gravity caught like a comet or something, and it hangs around for a while and then just is flung off into space again. And maybe fling the planet out of orbit at the same time, yeah. Yeah, so my thing right now is just, do I hand wave all of this, or do I try to put at least some more thought in it? Probably. But how much thought will I put into that? And that's like the thing where I'm like, you can so easily fall into world builder's disease, because this stuff is fascinating to think about. Yeah, exactly. How fantasy do you want to go? I mean, I guess that's also where the fun with Archive of Lost Worlds comes into, because, again, I can have basically everything in that world, because they travel to different worlds from a nexus point, and that is going to be so much fun. But also, there are so many things I could do. But would they make sense? But then also the worlds that they are exploring are basically about to snap out of existence, so it could be stuff that is wildly inhabitable, or not inhabitable, that's uninhabitable, that's the word. Like, I have biological explanation for how it's possible for my race to be all women while not suffering from lack of gene variation. Okay, do they change genders if there's a need, or do they propagate Kind of like, you cut off a limb and A, the limb of the person regrows, and B, a person grows out of the limb. Kind of like you do it with the trees. So I wonder how long these will stay here. Because I kinda want to get at least the character inks finished, sweetie. They're parthenogenetic. They just become pregnant. There are animals on Earth that do that, but they suffer from like a variation, which makes them bad at adapting to changes. Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess if you have like multiple sexes, then the selection of who breeds with each other and stuff, or what breeds with each other, whatever, definitely makes for more changes. Like, anybody who's better adapted has also better chances of going better. So if you don't have that, changes are slow because you rely on mutations and don't, breed for those mutations in that sense. Okay. Sweetie. I just decided that actually the carry a really huge genome with a lot of junk DNA, and when they reproduce, they give me shuffle from this redundancy resulting in variation. Okay. I mean, technically everybody has a lot of junk genes. A lot of them are just blocked, so I guess the block doesn't necessarily work all the time. I mean, it doesn't necessarily work all the time for us either, so yeah. Yeah, see, and that's the thing. It needs to be somewhat possible, at least plausible, where you're coming from. And then again, part of it can be hand-waved as it's fantasy. It's another world. Might be different there. You got food! Yay! I've got a cat. Thomas, I'm just as insane. I think. Maybe a different kind of insane, but also insane. Yeah, Elisa's still purring. She's gone a bit quieter with her purrs. Like she's settling down for some sleep or something, but also, sweetie girl, I still need that arm. I need it for my keyboard shortcuts. Yeah, creatures have to make some sense in the environment that they are in. Like, it's one thing, like, when you look at, like dogs, for example. They were bred by humans for different tasks, and sometimes the task is to be just cute. And some people think certain dogs are cute. Not all of them are, in my opinion, cute, but it's okay. So, if you, for example, get like a golden doodle or something and have that as a herding dog or something. That doesn't make sense. But that is human-made at that point. So if a human does that, you can always say, yeah, it's human stupidity to use a dog like that. But for non-interference stuff, it still kind of needs to make sense in the environment. They have vertebrates, of course. Okay, you do a really old thing. See, my thing with Chihuahuas, specifically before Butters, was a lot of them always look very aggressive, like, or stressed. I guess stressed is the proper word, because they are aggressive in response to being stressed. And as Jenna has said multiple times, people just don't really know how to approach Chihuahuas so that they are not stressed. And that really colors the breed, and that is, again, humans just being stupid with what they made. And yeah, Butters is very cute. Some of them are surprising though, because people think of poodles like a companion dogs, but they're originally water retrieving hunting dogs. So yeah, poodles are really good at retrieving and hunting and stuff. And the other thing is with poodles, you would always think, oh, they have so much hair and stuff. They shed, but no, poodles apparently don't shed. That was very surprising for me to learn. Whereas you have something like huskies or malamutes, for example, who are bred for very cold climates, and they shed like crazy. They lose their fur the entire time, and I'm like, you're supposed to be there for cold climates and stuff. Why are you losing your fur? Chihuahuas are lovely looks. They are also often not raised and socialized well, and indeed people forget that they are quite small, fragile dogs. I get scared and nervous because everything's 10 times bigger. Yeah, exactly. It's like if you don't approach a dog properly, no matter the size, or you underestimate a dog for any kind of reason, it's the human's fault, not the animal's. But usually it's the animal that has to live with the consequences. My cul-de-sac one neighbor has a poodle named Scooter, and he always wants to come say hi when I go on my walks. But as humans yell at him, boo. Poodles are hair dogs, so they don't have fur. And that's why they're actually quite good for people with allergies. Interesting. See, that part was missing for me still. Another neighbor has a tiny little French bulldog, which I don't know the name of, but always dashes to the fence when I walk by, never barking, just making these pathetic hiss snorts. Yeah, with bulldogs, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are also very, like I personally find them ugly in the sense that the snout is just too short, like bred too short. That is, again, man-made, the issue. If the snout was a bit longer, it would be fine, I guess. And like pugs, for example, I don't like pugs. They look so weird to me. But if you look at pug drawings or skulls from like 150 years ago, they were very different before we bred them even shorter. So hair dogs are almost most easily told apart why that, like as the hair keeps growing, where fur just kind of stops getting longer at some point. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And the hair doesn't shed. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. It's the same with Persian cats. I generally don't really like the look of them, as in, if people buy them from a breeder for a lot of money, I'm like, why are you doing that? Why? Aren't there enough suffering cats out there? Why are you adding to that with demand, basically? Like, if you get one from a rescue, that's another thing, because that cat was already there and needed a place. But creating demand for that, especially breeders who are not trying to elongate all the pulmonary stuff, I'm not sure. It's, yeah, I don't like that. For certain breeds, for me, it's like adopt, don't shop, but a lot of people do be shopping. Oh yeah, French Bulldogs, they do seem to be really nice dogs, like temperament-wise. A former neighbor of mine also had a French Bulldog. I think by now, because it's been a couple years since I moved away. The dog was pretty old already when I still lived there, so I don't know if it is still with us on this planet or not. But was having a lot of problems breathing at that point. Even short walks were very exhausting for her. Which is sad. Yeah, there are just too many health issues. So, and Elise is just sleeping on my arm now. Let's see if I can try to do a bit more drawing work without the use of my hand. Sweet girl. And yeah, also in regards to the shorter snouts and stuff, I know that there are breeders who are trying to restore the breed to healthier standards. And I know that will take a couple of generations to really have an impact. But getting there is a bit still a sad affair. So right now I really wish that my drawing tablet was a touch version, and I would be more easily pushing and pulling everything here. Like on the iPad I can just pinch to zoom and move and everything. But my Wacom Cintiq, okay, Elise turned around, and she's now belly up, because she wants the belly rubs. Okay, I guess we're not drawing right now, we are giving belly rubs. Oh yeah, she likes those. I get a feeling that I probably won't be doing a whole lot of drawing anymore today. Oh, and now she's sticking one of her paws in the air. Oops. Yeah, sweetie. Yes, I've been claimed. I mean, the cats always get very curious while I'm streaming, because I'm talking a lot more and a lot more coherent than when we are alone, usually. So they get curious what I'm doing that needs so much talking. Because for cats, meowing is basically baby talk, so any kind of human talk has to be baby talk. So who am I talking to, if not them, the entire time? Yeah, okay, this is the never-ending cat break, I think. Because we've been at this cat break for like 15 minutes now. I still had troll. If I baby talk to him, he just look at me like, the fuck you doing? Yeah, she deserves all the love. And I'm also very happy that she likes belly rubs, because they are a lot of fun to give. It's a shame I didn't feel like putting up a camera today, because you probably would all like that very much. But I was being camera shy today. Yeah, she's very happy right now, aren't you? Sweet girl. Oh. It's also so fun to just have two cats and see how different they are in temperament. Because Elise is very cuddly and she's also a very loud purring cat. Whereas Arno is more like, he likes the quiet moments, as in, he will lie on my lap and sleep, or just cuddle next to me on the sofa, but he doesn't really want to be touched all that much. He enjoys a good pet here and there and some scratches, but not as much as Elise. And he also purrs very quietly, but you know when he's content. He is much louder for meowing though. And he likes his food. Like any food. Okay, I'm getting a big stretch here. She's a very long cat. She's a good girl. So there's going to be so much hair on my hoodie. It's going to be fun to take off. Okay, now she wants to play, I guess. If I sound different now, she just stole the foam from the microphone, so... Okay, she's done. Yay. I can get back to work. Oh, and there's so much cat hair everywhere. Alright, yeah. Have a good rest of your day, Thomas, because I don't think I'll be going for long anymore. I'll probably just finish inking Grandpa here and then call it a day. The stream has been kind of everywhere and nowhere all at once. Yeah, I really do have cat hair everywhere, especially close to my nose and mouth. Oh, I still had it like this. Oh yeah, yeah, we mirrored that one, that's fine. No, this needs to be more like this. Different angle. So it looks like it is on the proper shoe. Oh, something fell in the other room. But I think I know what it is. And it's nothing bad. So, what I was actually thinking. I think the files are feeling a bit long. It's also... Yeah, let's make them a little bit shorter. Wait, and the egg indeed have white inks. Why ever I decided that, but special inks, because why not, I guess. Now, what do snapping fingers look like? So yeah, I'm currently just having my hand here as a reference. Just to get it sort of right. So maybe... This needs to be further away. You can see that, that's the thing with hands. We do have two of them and we need one to draw, in most cases. But the other one is usually free. Okay, we've got a sketch. You know, the thing is also... the entire thing is going to be so tiny. Nobody will ever actually see it. But it's fine. What? Let's take this sketch. Oh, I didn't put it on a proper isolated sketch layer. Okay, that's fine. A little bit bigger. Whoops. And now we ink it. Alright, and then there's just going to be a lot of magic going up here. And the rocks falling. Okay, I hear a cat in the kitchen trying to get to the treats. Oh no, is that you? Okay, somebody is not trying to be heard. Okay, just a second. Oh no? Is that you? Yeah, okay, who else? Sweet boy. Mm-hmm. Okay, it was Arno. And it's the funniest thing. When he is caught in the attempt, he's just like, Mommy, can you open that for me? Okay, so... right, that one was still missing to make some sort of sense here, and can have this a bit lower too. Okay, let's close the lines. All right. I've got an idea where my issue currently lies. So yep, I think that looks better. Oops. Wrong tool. There we go. So, we did not do a whole lot today, but we did something. Let's try to look at this in a positive light. I really need to get better at streaming again. It's been a while, obviously. I mean, it's been a good month since the last stream. Let me see in the calendar. More than a month. Because I didn't do anything last week. Okay, yeah. This is going to be where I'm ending today, a little bit on the earlier side. I've been all over the place and nowhere really concentrated. But I've been here. I'll switch over to ending so anybody coming in knows we're about to go. So yeah, I don't actually have a whole lot to say still, so thanks for keeping me company today and enduring my all over the place brain, and yeah, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you again next week, because we have a lot of comic pages still ahead. Bye bye, and take care. Kapla.